Okay, 2011 Nissan Rogue SUV. Today we're gonna replace control arms. Control arm comes with bushings attached to it and ball joint, lower ball joint, and also it came with the sway bar links as well, left and right. These bushings are worn out. This was ordered from A1 Auto. Both came in left and right. So I'll show you on the one that's on the car. The rubber cracked here and it basically separated, so it's making noise. It's loose, and instead of replacing one side, we decided to replace both sides. And I'll do the driver's side first. I'll also do the brakes at the same time because everything's going to be off. And I'm also going to do the tie rods, outer tie rods as well, because it's getting new tires and it needs to get an alignment anyways. So that way the whole front suspension is going to be all new. Okay, so the wheel is off. I was looking at the brakes. They're a little rusty because the car's been sitting for a week or two. The brakes are not too bad, so I might just bleed them but not even touch them. They're pretty thick, so leave the way it is for a few more months. The bushings, it's all chewed, and the other side is even worse. So you have that one bolt right there, and you have these two bolts right here. That's part of the control arm. Then you have this bolt right here for the lower ball joint. It's basically you will lose this nut right here. It sits inside. It would lose. It doesn't have a nut on top, so this would just go through and that would kind of squeeze, and that bolt would hold it in place. Nothing to it. So verify and make sure it's the same control arm that you are taking off before you start breaking it apart, because online sometimes you order and it might look the same, but it's not. And then I'll go ahead and change the sway bar link right here, just because it came with it. This one's not too bad. And then I'll change the outer tie rod because this one is busted, it's leaking. Like I said, we'll get a new alignment, so it doesn't matter. We'll do that. Okay, I took the brake caliper off and the disc, so I got more room to work with. Make sure you spray everything down. This one was so tight, and some WD-40 I need to get in there. This one's giving me a hard time. I'll work on it. And it's 18mm for the sway bar link. For that one, those are 22, I believe. Let me see. 21 over there. Those two. 18, and these two are 18. The caliper was 19. 2 bolts in the caliper. And I didn't get to this right here. I want to say it's probably 12 or 14. Okay, tie rod, the nut is 14, and the star to hold it, it's a T25. In my case, I didn't need it. Came off. I got everything off. I'll do that last, except this one bolt right here, but everything else is loose. And, except, like I said, this bolt right here. That's what I'm working on now. I just freed some stuff so I can get in here. Okay, so the lower control ball, it's attached to this arm, and it has this cutout. That's where the bolt goes through like this, and I loosened the bolt, but I was trying to slam it down in order to pop, but it wouldn't. So you have to take this bolt out in order for this would just release itself, or you tap it with a hammer or whatever you got, but you have to take this bolt out and disconnect the sway bar links, disconnect the outer tie rods, because you definitely need room. And the tension bar is kind of in a way over here for this bolt, so I use the screwdriver, one of these, to hold the tension this way so I can get the socket in there. If you got an extra helping hand, that's definitely good. So, but you can see this is all shot right there, so rubber is gone. That's one more bolt and start putting it together. Okay, I got it with the help of WD-40 and some of this stuff. You can fit anything on top here, any sockets, because you have this sway bar link, tension connecting from the other side. So 18 from the bottom, and then I was holding 18 up here. So you can definitely get it from the bottom because the bolt is right there. It did resist a little bit because it's going through the rubber, and over time it just molds in there. So, but it did come loose, so it's coming up. Okay. And here it comes. So this one's not too bad, but this here, it's gone. So you can see it started separating, and the lower ball joint was also, I damaged it a little bit with a fork trying to push it out, but it was damaged before. It's just loose, so there you go. And this is the aftermarket. So A1 Auto. Identical. I won't say it's built very solid. Everything looks exactly the same. So $90 for both sides, free shipping, versus almost $300 for one at the dealership from the the dealer, definitely not worth it. And if you were to take this to them, good luck. That would be a charge. So for $90 and a day of work, I think it's worth it versus paying them probably $500-600 just for labor plus the parts. Just remember the way you took something out, that's how you should put it back, the way the bolts are facing up or down. If you're gonna do it the next day, put it together, just take notes. You know, you don't want to do it twice. Start taking stuff off because it's rubbing or it's hitting something that doesn't want to go or shouldn't go that way. So yeah, I'm happy. Took me about an hour to figure out and get all the tools and start taking it off. So the other side should go much faster because now I know. Okay, got some light. This is very important. When you take this off for the lower control arm, in this case I have a jack holding it to push up, you have to align these bolts down, and then that one wasn't too bad to get to it. This right here, that's the problem. So I used 1/2 inch with a small extension, but I had to use this pry bar to push the link up so I can get in there. Otherwise there's no way you can hold that and do this at the same time. And I needed second hand, so as I'm trying to align the bolt down, I was lifting the jack, raising this up and leveling the bolt. So now it's in, everything's where it needs to go. It just needs to be tightened. You can see on the passenger side the lower control arm pushing. I sprayed everything because it just it was so hard to take anything off of this. It's not really rusted, it was frozen. So as you can see, I'm taking this bolt off to get the lower ball joint to pop out, but this rubber here is separated. So I'm doing this, it's moving in here, it cracked. It's actually separated away from the rest of the control arm. So what I did, I took the sway bar link off. I'm going to do the outer tie rod also because it's gone, and they're going to do alignment, and they're going to do put new tires, so that way everything's going to be new sway bar link, new outer tie rod, and a new control arm with bushings. So I did that first. I'm going to take the lower ball joint bolt out, then I'll work on this bolt, and I'll take these two right here. This one's really hard to get to because you got this in the way, but I have a big long pry bar. I'm going to put it in here like that, under bottom like that, and then lift up so I can put a socket this way. It's kind of in a way, so the threads are inside, so the only way to access it is from above. Okay, new outer tie rod, new sway bar link, and a new lower control arm. There's this 18 right there, and like I said, this ball right here, it has a clip, sits like this, so once it goes through, the bolt is basically holding it in place, so it won't fall through. What I did, I insert that bolt first, put the arm in there, and then swing. And these bolts, they have to be aligned like 45 down. So I had this little jack right here. I kind of was raising the control arm up in the air so I can have that 45 angle. And I did this one first. Like I said, I took this off because it was just so much easier. I had this big pry bar, and I put it in here, and then lift this sway bar link up to put the socket in there by hand and use the socket. So I did those two, and then I hammered that in there in place, and then finished the bolt. Sway bar link last, second, and then outer tie rod last. So that's about it.